It's the All-Star Review. Presented by Pet Milk, Snow Crop, and Kellogg. Starring Jack Carson, Jimmy Durante, Olsen and Johnson, Danny Thomas, Ed Wynn.
And now, in just 1 minute, we bring you the Danny Thomas Show.
Stop the confusion. Stop the confusion. Everybody wants to get into the act with Kellogg's Variety Pack. Buster wants the cornflakes, Pop wants a pep. Mama loves the raisin bran, Mama is hip. Sister loves Rice Krispies, and there's Uncle Jack. He loves Kellogg's shredded wheat. Kellogg's makes it fun to eat. Breakfast with Variety Pack. Okay, folks, there's your favorite individual box of cereal, fresh from Kellogg's Variety Pack. Untouched by human hands, except your own. That don't mean you gotta eat with them. Each individual box comes to your FOD, fresh on delivery from Battle Creek, right to your own dish. Yeah, everybody wants to get into the act with Kellogg's Variety Pack. Yes, sir, Kellogg's Variety Pack.
And here he is, the star of our show, Danny Thomas.
Oh, here. Thank you. Seats, please, ladies and gentlemen. You've been standing outside a long time, waiting to get in. You've worked hard enough. You don't have to applaud. Just nod your heads. I'll understand. Don't worry about it. I have no temperament whatever, believe me. I'm very happy to be alive. Beside our extra special guest stars tonight, we have the services once again of those two wonderful chaps that played Fate and Destiny for you a couple of shows back. That's Dave Barry and Bob Hopkins. There's also Paul Dubov, Jimmy Ames, and Philly Arnold, and the Ben Yost Colleens. I hope it's going to be a good show for you. I'm quite excited about being back myself, honestly, because I've been away a long time, traveling around the country. Just got back from New York. I love to travel. Years ago, when we just had a couple of bucks in the family, I took a trip, and on this trip, excuse me, this is nothing, please. It'll be over in a minute. It's just when I think about the trip. Isn't this dreadful? Usually doesn't last this long. See, I traveled from New York to Los Angeles by bus. I don't know whether or not you've ever been on a bus, but sometime if you have a few years to kill, take a trip from New York to Los Angeles by bus. I walked like this for 92 days after the trip was over. I had the seat over the rear wheel, you know. 2 weeks, I walked around doing this. That you get from reading those Burma shade signs, you know. Of course, we got some relief from the situation. That's when we made what is commonly referred to as a rest stop. They have the audacity to call them rest stops. Every 50 miles, brother. Tired or not, you could be fast asleep. Everybody out! Rest! You could be dead, they'd get you up to rest. And that's not all. There was one woman used to get tired between stops. She didn't care where we were when she you got tired either. If you're over a bridge or in the Mojave Desert, you'd holler, hold it, wait, I'm tired now. That's how the Charleston came back, you know. Ah, what times we had traveling by bus. But you know the great advantage of it, kidding aside, when motoring or traveling by bus across the country, kind of easing along, you sure do get a chance to drink in this great land of ours. And for those of you who have just said to yourselves, doesn't that sound like a cue for a song? May I say, it does? America, I love you. You're a sweetheart of mine. From ocean to ocean, you, my devotion, touches each boundary line. You're like a little baby climbing its mother's knee. Oh, America, I love you, and there's 100 million others like me. Oh, but if you want the proper score, just add 60 million more who are living and loving, who are loving the living in the land of the free. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You two at home, bless you for tuning in. And I'm glad you tuned in, and you're going to be too, because, you see, a few years ago, one of the top stars in the theatrical world retired at the height of her dancing career. Well, sir, she's back. Back where she belongs, in the upper echelon of show business. And we're proud that she has chosen our show on which to make her television debut. Surprise number one, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Eleanor Powell. Hey!
Thank you, Danny. That was a wonderful introduction.
No more than you deserve, dear lady, believe me.
You know, it's really good to be back again, especially on your show.
Thank you, dear. And I'm especially happy, too, that you chose our show. Now, this is your first television appearance, and I don't want you to be doing 2 choruses of Dinah. So, I mean, let's get the full Powell treatment. What do you say?
All right. Well, I'd like to do a number for you. It's a little bit of everything rolled into one. I call it the Powell Goulash.
Ah, good.
Do you mind?
Do I mind? Mm-hmm.
1 second, and this will be off.
You know, I always like goulash. don't know about you, but honest to goodness, I'm thrilled to the core. I'm so happy that she's back in the show business again and where she belongs. And speaking of people who belong in show business, ladies and gentlemen, my next star, truly a great artist. Honestly, adjectives are unnecessary. And my beloved friend, stage and screen, Miss June Havoc.
Thank you dearly, Danny.
Oh, sweetie, it's so nice to have you here, especially knowing you just closed after a solid year run on Broadway. Without any vacation at all, you flew right out here to be with us.
I was looking forward to working with you, Danny, honestly.
Thank you.
Cross my heart. Danny, there's one thing that rather confuses me. I know you'll understand.
Yes.
I've studied this script and I've worked on it, but honest to goodness, you've got to help me a little bit with the characterization for this sketch.
Oh, Junie.
I'm sorry.
You were the inspiration for this sketch.
What?
It's your characterization in the motion picture Possessed that gave us the idea.
Lady Possessed.
Yes, Lady Possessed. You are suffering from hallucinations. In this sketch, too, you see. But in this case, you're a movie fan. You love the movies. You see all the pictures. You subscribe to every movie magazine. So much so that now everybody you talk to sounds like a movie star.
Just a minute. Danny,
Ah,
I'm in character.
ah.
Now I'll get into costume.
Go, girl, go. Ladies and gentlemen. And now the presentation of the sketch. Mr. and Mrs. Christian. Thank you very much. Oh, I thought you were applauding me.
Mr. Thomas, this show is 12 minutes old, and I haven't done a thing yet. Do I or do I not work here?
Certainly you work here, Bunny. What are you getting excited about? There's just no place for you right now.
Excuses, always excuses. Why did I ever leave the Theater Guild?
Oh, no. You've been talking with those actors again, huh? All right, I'll tell you what I'll do for you. I was going to make the announcement on the sketch. You do it for me, huh? Go ahead.
A fine job for a legitimate actress. Oh, well. Ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged to present a production which utilizes the virtuosities of such stellar luminaries as June Havoc and Danny Thomas, thespians of fabulous magnitude. Their indefectible portrayals will unreservedly merit your highest plaudits.
Good morning, Gregory, darling. Good morning, my love. Good morning, Bogey, dear. Good morning, Clark. Good morning, Doug. Good morning, Homer. You're late for breakfast. What happened?
What happened? I got lost in these pajamas. Whatever made you buy these silly things anyhow?
Who says they're silly? The sales girl told me that these pajamas are the exact same kind that Gary Cooper wears.
Yeah, but you could have got them in Mickey Rooney's size.
Stop being so difficult. Sit down and have your breakfast, please. Nah, for a minute there I thought you looked like Marlon Brando.
Will you cut it out already with the movie stars? One day it's Alan Ladd, next day it's Van Johnson. What about me, your husband, Homer Christian?
Don't you dare mention your name in the same breath with theirs.
Excuse me for living, but you remember marrying me, don't you?
Well, of course I do, darling. How could I ever forget our wedding day?
You mean you do remember?
Mm-hmm. Of course I do, love bug. That was the time we saw Robert Montgomery in Night Must Fall.
Yeah. Then we saw Judy Holliday in The Marion Time. Then we saw The Adventures of Tarzan. What a way to spend a honeymoon. Every day we went to a different movie.
Well, why not, Homer, dear? Aren't you supposed to enjoy yourself on a honeymoon?
Let's forget about the whole thing, huh? What about the leaking pipe? Did you have it fixed?
Don't worry, I called the plumber. He'll be here today, so eat your breakfast.
A hard-boiled egg and a cracker?
That is the exact same breakfast that Frank Sinatra eats every single morning.
Yeah, but you're eating toast and coffee and bread and butter and eggs and Mother Grass's noodle soup and all.
This is the exact same breakfast that Ava Gardner eats every morning.
Just my luck. Ava Gardner couldn't marry Sidney Greenstreet.
Eat your breakfast.
What's the matter?
Errol Flynn has shaved off his mustache.
Oh. Ain't that too bad? What's the matter?
Gregory Peck is growing a mustache.
You see how everything worked out?
Yeah.
The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Well, isn't that something? Now the world's in balance. If you don't mind, I would like to take a look and see how the world is doing. If it's all right with you, I would like to read the paper. What?
I cut out a few pictures. You don't mind?
No, not at all. It's nice and airy this way. Cut out a few pictures. Will you do me a favor and cut it out with these movie stars? Darling, why don't you let Dr. Gilmore look at
I don't wish to see a doctor. I'm all right.
But, sweetheart, it isn't normal for you to keep thinking about movie
Well,
stars.
what else is there to think about, Homer? You're all right, so come in.
Pardon me, folks. Got a delivery from the Bingham Auction Gallery.
Yeah. Bring it in right away.
What you buy at the
Oh,
auction?
you'll be mad about this, will you?
What is it?
It belonged to Rudolph Valentino.
Rudolph Valentino. Oh, boy, just what I always wanted. Now I can take a bath in the kitchen.
Are you out of your mind? Take a bath in Rudolph Valentino's tub? Is nothing sacred to you?
What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to make a lamp out of it.
Okay, Louie, drop that tub.
What are you getting so nervous about?
I'm not nervous. I never get nervous, pal.
Humphrey Bogart.
Huh?
What?
You sound just like Humphrey Bogart.
Oh, no, darling. No, sweetheart. No, he doesn't sound
He
like
does, too. Now, leave me alone. I guess
Why
I know
doesn't
who sounds like Humphrey Bogart.
Dr. Gilmore, get here. Oh, you poor kid. Excuse me, sir. What did you say to my wife?
Oh, I merely remarked to my coworker Lewis to set this priceless collector's item down with great care, lest it sustain an injury.
This is Humphrey Bogart. Excuse, sir. What's the matter?
Mrs. Christian, come here. Mrs. Christian, would you be so kind as to put your signature on this receipt? You hear me? Mrs. Christian, would you be so kind if you don't sign this slip? I shall have you hanging from the highest chandelier in this house, do you hear?
Charles Lawton.
What?
Charles Lawton.
No, darling, no, it isn't Charles
What do you
Lawton.
mean, no? I guess
Don't-
I ought to know Charles Lawton when I hear him. After all, I'm the one that sees movies in this
But
family.
he
not you.
doesn't sound like Charles Lawton, sir.
Look, buddy, I don't want to get mixed up in any family squabbles. All I want to do is get this lady to sign this receipt, you understand?
Yes, I know, but you see, my wife.
Now, look, lady, we don't want any trouble for you, see? Yeah. Now, put your name down on that receipt book if you know what's good for you. And get it down quick if you want to stay healthy, see? Yeah.
Edward Robinson, G.
It is not Edward Robinson G. It is Edward G. Robinson.
You're right. That's him.
It is not him.
I guess I ought to know if it's him or if it's he.
Why
It
does
is.
Dr. Gilmore get
Hey,
here?
husband, it's
Oh,
so
my
mean.
goodness.
Terrible, I tell you. Now, why don't you be a good little girl? Why don't you be a good little girl, Nigger?
Very
Sign this receipt. To me, partner can go on with our
Oh,
work.
my God, Fitzgerald, I'd be very happy to sign your receipt. Give me.
Ah, dear lady, if I were king, I would still want your name in our receipt book. It is our duty, you know, and one mustn't shirk one's duty, must one?
Ronnie, dear, you may kiss our hand.
Darling.
All right, lady. I don't want to have any trouble out of you. Just a moment. You're getting my partner and I a little perturbed. All I want you to do, a very simple little idea, is for you to sign this little pad. Would you do that, please?
Of course, Mr. Cagney. There. There you are.
Greta Garbo.
What? Oh, no.
Oh, forgive me for speaking up, sir, but your wife gives every appearance of abnormality.
Yeah, she's nuts.
Fellas, please, don't say anything around the neighborhood, will you? Don't say anything. Dearest, Greta. Darling, dearest.
No, I want to be alone. Don't talk to me.
Sweetheart, pull yourself together, will you? You're imagining so many...
Oh, no, I heard him. Ronald Cohen kissed my hand, and over
No,
there, Edward G.
darling,
Robinson
please,
said to me, he
sit
said...
down and relax, honest. When Dr. Gilmore comes, please let him talk.
I don't want to see any doctor because I just don't need a doctor. That's
Sweetheart,
all there is to it.
please, it's not going to hurt anything. It isn't normal for you to think everybody is a movie star.
All right, love, maybe you're right. I'll see him if you say so.
Oh, that must be him, he now. Oh, come in, Dr. Gilmore. How are you? I'll take your case.
How do you do?
Fine, Doctor. It's terrible, but she says she'll talk to you. Please try to help her.
Good. I'll have a little talk with her.
Thank you.
Hello, doctor.
My dear young lady, there's nothing to be alarmed about. Young Dr. Kildare had a case similar to yours, and he cured it in no time.
He did?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, Dr. Barrymore, get these...
You see what I mean, Doctor?
Yes, it's quite serious.
That must be the plumber now.
The plumber? Oh, come in. Come in. Are you...
All right, lady, where's the leaking pipe? Where is
What?
it? Where is it?
Tooley the plumber, not Eddie
Tell you,
Tanner.
it's Eddie Tanner. A few new Susie like
my
mine.
husband, my poor husband.
Yes, young man. Tell me everything is all right.
Please, Mr. Cantor. They think I'm crazy, Mr. Cantor. Tell them who you are, Mr. Cantor. Please, will you please, Mr. Cantor?
My boy, how long have you been suffering with these hallucinations?
Oh,
There's nothing like snowflakes on the mountain. Big, frigid flakes of snow, nature's snowflakes, and we gotta go, climb up that mountain.
If I wasn't dumb, I'd be back at home with Kellogg's cornflakes.
Somehow a sporting man finds the mountain, a special kind of dare. Sporting man climbs the mountain just because it's there.
I'd rather have corn, Kellogg's corn flakes on the mountain. Not a stop or drop, never reach the top without Kellogg's cornflakes.
Mountain climb such an adventure, you never know who you'll meet. Maybe the abominable snowman. Or maybe just a fella who will let you eat
Corn, Kellogg's corn flakes in the morning. If I had my way, I'd start every day with Kellogg's cornflakes.
June Havoc, no visit from that lovely lady would be complete without her great characterization of a 1920 vaudeville queen. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss June Havoc, as she presents that fabulous character of the early 1920s, Miss Cushions LaFay.
No, please. No more photographs, please. Autograph. No more autographs, please. No more autographs. Oh, this junk. This is absolute junk. Who could be bothered with this? Yes, little man, you may get up off your knees now. Oh, dear, the life of a rich, wealthy celebrity is a bore.
Miss LaFay, I want to ask you just one thing.
Later, little man, later.
Oh, please, Miss LaFay. Just one thing.
Later, my boy, later. I think that's my cue now.
You're on next, Miss LaFay.
Very well, I'm with you.
Oh, Miss LaFay, there's just one thing I've got to ask you.
Very well, little man.
What is it? Please.
Yes?
Could I empty your wastebasket?
Really? heard your story. It was raining. Your friends were few. I shared your hopes and fears. I gave you my best years. It was I who paved the way for you. Now you say we're through. Boo! After I brought you the sunshine, you left me out in the rain. I took your part. It was I who gave you your start. And now you repay me with a broken heart. I helped you win, and when you won, who was it? I was the one to lose. You boldly sold my love for gold, and you left me with the blues. After I brought you left me standing out in the rain. Well, you're right up on top now, and you'd like to be free. I guess you think you're just too big for poor little me. It just happens I have 3 letters You wrote these at 3 different stages of your career. The first one says, "Sweetheart, my wonderful one, I'll always be grateful for all that you've done." Grateful. Huh? The things I did for that man. I bought him new shoes, new clothes, new hat, new teeth. The very next night, I see him out in the nightclub, dancing, all dressed up and smiling at another woman with my teeth. This is the second one. It came after I gave you your start. And this one came from your fountain pen, not your heart. Oh, but the third one, and this one you admit without a doubt, that although I fed you kisses for breakfast, luncheon, and dinner, you preferred eating out. Well, I answered these letters. I agreed that we part. And now I'm doing to these what you did to my heart. My father tried to warn me. He did. He said, "Over my dead body, you'll marry that lug." And he made an awful lump in the rug. But I want you to stay right in there. Go on, keep punching. You'll hit yourself. And I hope with everything I've got that you'll find your gold at the end of your rainbow, and not just your pot. And after I brought you the sunshine, you left me standing out.
As a matter of fact, Eleanor, both you young ladies are giving superb performances tonight. I'm really amazed. What great performances for women.
Well, what kind of a remark is that? What do you mean, for women?
Well, I mean, after all, the great stand-up performers of all time have always been men. Let's face it, it's a man's world.
It's a man's world.
That's right.
Have you looked at the world lately? That's what's wrong with it. It's a man's world.
Oh.
When anything good is accomplished, you men take credit for it.
Yeah.
Do you realize that women are the driving force of this nation?
Yeah, well...
And the day isn't too far off when women will control politics. And let me get a word in, please,
Yeah,
Danny.
well,
Listen to me. Listen. A woman would make a great Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
And I'd even go so far as to say
Yeah.
the time will come when a woman will throw her hat in the ring.
Yeah, but if
Look, you talk too much. Take it from me. We women will run this country one day. Just you wait and see.
What did I say? She got mad for nothing. She says to me, "Women are the driving force of this country." I should have said, "Yeah, when women drive, they force you right off the road," I should have said. She says to me, a woman could be a Speaker of the House. I should have said to her, I've yet to find a house where the woman wasn't the Speaker, I should have said. Boy, that would have been a good one. Now I think of it. Why can't I think of what I should have said when I should have said it? How do you like that, women in politics? She says, the day will come when women will throw their hat in the ring. I should have said, I've seen the kind of hats you women wear, and you ought to throw them in the alley, I should have said. How do you like that? We women will run this country one day, she said. I should have said, yeah, and that's how long the country would last, one day. Boy, oh boy, you get sore for nothing. Women running the country. What an idiotic thought. Could you imagine if we had a woman president? Holy smokes. Try to see what it would be like and how long it would take? Come on. Well, come on.
We're political reporters here in Washington, D.C. The latest news is right within our reach. And in this most important year of 1973, we are covering the President's inauguration speech.
And so I say to all of you, my loyal friends and backers, we'll cut our annual budget to 800 billion smackers. I'll justify your faith in me. I promise I will try to be the finest president that money can buy.
She'll give the country the fairest shake that she can supply. She'll be the finest president that money can buy.
And what did my vice president think about my little chat?
You'll get the vote of every dame. Who is a dame? Oh, crap, you think so? Your hairdo was exquisite. Thank you. Your dress looked very nice. You were charming, Madam President.
Thank you, Madam Vice.
I do wish you'd remember to finish that word.
All right then, Madam Vice President.
Thank you.
My goodness, do I have to spend 4 years with this woman?
Excuse me, Madam President.
Yes?
I bring this message to you.
Yes?
A reporter's waiting in the hall. Would like to interview you.
I'm not in.
We must not offend the press, for they can make or break you.
Well, send her in as fast as those two chubby legs can take you.
Good morning, Madam President.
Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Vice.
Some days it never happens once. Today it happened twice.
Oh, for goodness sake, will you stop being so sensitive? My goodness, you're worse than a man. And you? Who are you?
Oh, I'm a reporter.
A reporter?
Yes.
Oh, that cute, a man reporter.
Yes, ma'am. Thomas is the name. I'm from the Men's Home Journal.
Speak up, boy.
We have a very progressive magazine now. We have a political page.
You do?
Yes, I want to ask a few questions about the the Chartreuse House. And, who's that?
Martha Washington, the mother of our country.
What do you think of her?
Oh, George. Just one of my little jokes. My very little jokes. Madam President, where were you born?
Charleston.
Charleston?
Charleston.
What?
Oh, Charleston.
What's that?
Hey, hey.
We have to have a sort of flippant moment once in a while.
Oh.
You get the idea. I don't think you two people have met politically. This is Vice President Powell, Mr. Thomas.
How are you?
Hawaii.
crack walnuts.
Back to politics.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Speaking of politics,
Yes?
I know the men are in the minute minority, but do you mind if I make a suggestion?
Not at all. Go ahead.
Don't you think you ought to limit the take-home pay of the Internal Revenue Department?
What do you know about running the government?
What's that?
Why don't you stay in the kitchen where you belong with your hands in the sudsies? You are only a man.
Only a man? Only a man? Only a man? Behind every woman, there's a man.
This boy has papers.
Behind every girl, there's a fellow.
It gets to me. Here.
The wife may go to work to keep the family off the skids. But if not for us husbands, who'd be a mother to our kids?
Now, honey child, behind every female there's a man. Yes, honey child, he does his best to make her life content. And I tell you, honey child, whatever you're feeling, kind of lonesome.
And when she comes home at night, I greet her looking, oh, so sweet. I even wear a sarong girdle just to keep my figure neat. And she barges into the house, looks at me and says, what's to eat? Oh, shut up! Behind every lady, there's a gent.
So there, behind every woman, there's a man.
The man is absolutely right.
Yes, sir.
The man is absolutely right.
We understand your problems and we'll start a crusade. There's gonna be changes made.
Hallelujah.
We're gonna take the man away from housework. We're gonna make him equal to a dame.
I've got those, clean up all the ashtrays, wash the empty glasses after my wife and her friends play poker till 3 in the morning blue.
We're gonna give our husbands more attention.
Yes, yes.
We're gonna end the excuses that are made.
I got those, who does she think she's fooling when she tells me that the blonde hair on her collar is from the Cocker Spaniel blue?
You don't know how important little things can be. You make us fellas nervous wrecks.
From now on, we'll remember every anniversary. Let's be kind to the weaker sex.
We're human, too.
Gonna keep our best to get together. We're gonna give you guys a helping hand.
And who can say, then may those someday in this great, big, wonderful
And now, ladies and gentlemen, may I invite you not only into my heart, but into the love of my life, the American nightclub. That's where I was brung up. And I'd like to bring you to a composite of all the clubs that I have worked. And I call it the Shea Rivicopa, where right now we are featuring the great dancing of the star, Miss Eleanor Powell. Welcome home, sweetheart. Welcome home. Oh, why she should have ever retired for one day, I'll never know. Hi, folks. Hope you're enjoying yourselves at the club. We got a lot of customers out here. Every home in America, we hope, is on ringside. With that thought in mind, since show business has sort of an open sesame into the homes of American people, I think what with all this chaos going on in the world, it's fitting and proper that we try to do something to bring you a little enlightenment. And so, I would like to sing for you a song called Take It Easy, Be Casual, Relax. In other words, my friends, things aren't so bad that they couldn't be worse, and they'll be worse, so don't worry. Does this hectic world around you get you down? Are you gloomier than anyone in town? May I, in all humility, suggest a simple cure? And if you's care to heed it, you'll be happier. I went to college, I'm sure. For instance, when you're betting on a horse, you're gonna win, of course. You've got a system that beats all of the tracks. When you lose, make this note. Just before you cut your throat, take it easy, be casual, relax. Or when you come home late some night, fellas, you don't put on the lights as you quietly remove your coat and your slacks. When the lights glare in your eyes and your friends all yell, surprise! Take it easy, be casual, but pull your pants up. No, I say that because you can be too casual. So take it easy, be calm and be cool. And men, if your wife runs off with all your jack, it could be worse. She might come back. And bring her mother with her. I've offended you. I apologize. I apologize to all the mothers-in-law who are here. Not to mine, just to those who are here. Now, I'm not going to bore you with mother-in-law jokes. I stopped telling them 16 years ago. That's when I got married. Since then, they haven't been so funny. But there is a story I would like to tell you that is more than humor. It is psychology. It is sheer wisdom. I read it in a book titled Treasures of Jewish Folklore, which is anything but a joke book. It's a wonderful, colorful, well-written book about an ancient people, which leads me to believe this story is at least 1,000 years old, but it's been modernized. And this is it. Two women meet in the street, and after the usual salutations, one woman says, "And tell me, dear, how's your daughter?" The other said, "My daughter, thank God, very lucky. My daughter married a man that's a prince. He don't let her put her hands in cold water. She stays in bed till 12 o'clock noon every day. Shops by sacks like a movie star. And what do you think? Every afternoon drinks Kahlua cocktails. My daughter's very lucky." The woman said, "Isn't that wonderful? And how's your son?" She said, "You spoiled my whole day." Don't ask. That poor boy, what happened to him? He married one of those fancy schmancy girls, but's got to stay in bed till 12 o'clock noon every day. Spends all his money by sacks, and she's a drunkard, drinks cocktails all the time. Now, if you make much more dough than most, but you really hate to boast, so you leave some items off your income tax, there's no nicer place on earth than to sell in Leavenworth. Take it easy. You might look good in stripes. If you want to have fun, here's how it's done. Relax.
This is an orange, a choice, tree-ripened beauty. The kind Snow Crop picks right at the peak of perfection to make Snow Crop frozen orange juice. Why frozen? Because freezing is the one way to capture and keep all that flavor and healthful vitamin C. And as Teddy Snow Crop says, Snow Crop saves you all the work and half the cost of oranges you'd carry home and squeeze.
All you do is add 3 cans of water, stir, and a 6-ounce can makes a pint and a half of wonderful orange juice.
And in nationwide taste tests, America votes 2-1. Snow Crop tastes better than home squeezed. No wonder Snow Crop is by far America's biggest selling orange juice. Get Snow Crop.
The finest foods are chosen.
Yeah, the freshest foods are frozen by Snow Crop Frozen Foods. It's Snow Crop. Snow Crop.
You know, Bunny, I would like to sing a little song just for you. Because, well, you seem to think that I didn't want you to do a lot on the show. And I really do. And I love you very much. And this is a song that, well, it's kind of an answer. Everybody wants to know, who is that little girl on your show? Well, Walter, she's the end of the rainbow, my pot of gold, Danny's little girl, to have and to hold. A precious gem, that's what you are. Your mommy and daddy, bright and shining star. You're the treasure that I cherish. Oh, gee, so sparkling, so bright. You were touched by a holy and beautiful light. Like angels that sing, you're a heavenly thing. And you're Danny's bunny girl.
NBC Television.